being a woman and experiencing the world that you see it as a black woman, do you think that attributed to somewhat of an internal conflict of that you see how people react to you or just how the world works? Type shit?
Absolutely. Like I still sometimes have a hard time even dealing within myself. Is this like a angry black woman moment or is this like a bipolar moment? What's the difference? Who the fuck knows? Cause society gonna tell you.
She watching me like a is cable. I'll be on no label, but my clothes be all label. Think it's sweet because I signed a deal or something like I won't spin the block. I blow the Glock, I'm killing something. If we can't catch an eye, we catch this man and a little cousin. We gon' send them shots. Don't give a fuck, my niggas coming. And all my niggas busy, just like a bee, just know we buzzing. He said he wanna smoke, he just turned nothing into something. Shoot him out his coat. He tried to dip when he was running bullets. Hit.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of a No Label Convo. Here with my boy Nell.
Yo.
Shouts out to everybody subscribing on YouTube as normal, liking, following on Instagram, sharing. Follow us on Twitter at No Label the Pod. Now go ahead and get into the sponsor.
Yes, sir. Shout out to our sponsor. Shout out to Guap Coin, cryptocurrency
Coin.
for the culture. You're gonna see some moves. We seeing some wild things happening overseas, and they froze all their bank accounts. But what they started getting, that Bitcoin donations, that crypto donations, there's people eating off that. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely just something to keep in mind. And when what's moving forward and how we moving as a people, as a culture, we need to have something that's behind us. So with that being said, we got our guest today.
It was goody.
She been my dog since we met. It was just funny. We kind of clicked. And
way back.
From hooping to just regular conversation, just like being like good, genuine people. Got a dope podcast, barber, just like a socialite. What's good, TAKA? How you living?
Socialite my ass. I ain't no damn socialite.
I feel like you the person like when people be knowing you. You have a face like you're somebody people like I know her.
It's from doing the podcast for real. It's from
That's
doing
valid.
the podcast. It did a lot for I had to interview a lot of people. I did a lot of artists in Buffalo. I didn't. Damn, I'm not. You know what? I'm not a podcast host right now, so I can tell the fucking truth. I never been on this side, but I never gave a rat's ass about local shit at all. Period. Until Prince brought me on the podcast. Then I started listening to the music because I had to interview these niggas. I actually need to know what the fuck I'm talking about when I'm interviewing, right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't never wanted to be that person who interview people and I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just asking you what's your favorite color and dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, what made you start making music that was boring? So I ain't want to be that.
Yeah.
So then it became to the point where now I can't leave the house without wearing some local shit. And then that you meet people that way too. Buying their clothes. When they niggas start out, they don't have websites and shit like that. You hand to hand.
Yeah,
So you get to meet people that way. And
Very personable. Yeah.
how it is like that.
That's facts.
And the name of the podcast was what?
Jug Talk.
Jug Talk.
We still a collective. We still do shit. We throw parties and shit. We might revive the podcast part. I don't know. Schedules be hard. And
I just remember when I'm trying to think where I came. I might have came when I left UB, and I was just like starting to get used to the Buffalo scene again. And I remember y'all was everywhere, like Jug Talks everywhere. But that was like the first time I remember hearing about a podcast like in Buffalo. I was like, oh shit, like this is dope. And then you doing it's like you talk well, like you know how to talk, you know how to keep conversations going. And I'm just like, oh yeah, that's dope. That's dope for her. Like I know that shit gonna fit. So just for people who don't know you, what high school did you go to?
the greatest high school there is.
Yes,
I just
sir.
don't understand it. I went to the Hutchinson Central Technical High School.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of alumni in the building.
Duh.
Here's some chuckles from Niagara Falls.
Ew.
But,
No offense. I'm so sorry. We was cool. We was friends. We had a connection. We could take that out. I forgot.
yeah, fucking with Tech, the young Tech alumni.
Yeah, class of 2000 something.
Slum.
It don't
Yeah,
matter.
I was in the same class.
It don't
That's
even
fine.
matter. Nelson, I don't know if any of y'all know, Nelson was my senior prom date, actually.
We did.
Really?
We did go to.
I didn't even know that.
Yes. Yep.
That's my nigga, for real.
Yeah. We like.
For real. That's my fucking dog.
It caused so many issues.
Yeah, absolutely. He had people. First of all, for those that don't know, I don't like men, but he had women wanting to fight me.
It caused so many issues. Because at the time I was like, when she asked me, I was like, hell yeah, like that ain't no question.
You my nigga.
And then I started talking to somebody. We started getting close, and then it was like, oh, but you're going with. I'm like, that's
my word.
Yeah, like I'm keeping my word. Like that's my homie. Like this is who I've been cool with since I got here. Like I'm not. And that it caused a ripple effect.
Like when you got to do that, the dance part, like you got to dance with your date. So me and Nelson like talking shit the whole time. Like this shit is stupid. This is dumb. Or we was just like, damn baby, you look good. Like all this other stupid shit, laughing, joking, and she is like staring me in the face, like burning holes through my fucking face, and I'm just like. Yo, like, girl, I don't want this. Like, this is my biz. Like, this is really my homie for real. Like,
that was really I don't even want to talk about that.
Time.
That whole day.
You think
was
she
wild.
watching now? She might be watching.
I don't know.
Who knows?
That whole night was just crazy. I almost got shot that night. I had a gun in my face after that night.
I had just went home. Thank the Lord.
You want to elaborate?
No, I don't. No, actually, I don't want to elaborate.
Huh?
So, well, basically, like. So boom! After that, you lived. Did you start applying to colleges and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think I had already been accepted. I know how to talk. To Alfred State.
Oh yeah, you was down up there for a little bit. What was you studying out there?
I did architecture technology
Where?
for a semester, and I got master fuck about the country. So there's that.
Out the country?
Hell yeah!
Where'd you go?
Alfred State is the middle of nowhere at all. Like. It's cows, like cows and cows and
Courage the
cows.
Cowardly Dog next door.
I'm not, yeah, hell no. I had to get the fuck up out of there, yo. I like could literally hear them like shooting deer from my dorm room.
That's wild.
I'm just laying there and I hear a shot.
What made you want to go there in the first place?
Because I actually wanted to be an architect, and they have a really good program out there. And I didn't want to be far from home, but I didn't want to be home.
Right.
And yeah, I quickly learned that I am not country at all. I can't handle it. I need a mall. Absolutely. I need a Wegmans. I need all that shit. So I got the fuck up out of there. Like literally, I got my acceptance letter to Buff State in the mail the day before I was supposed to go back to Alfred. I didn't pack shit. I was just either I was going to Buff State or I was not going to school at all. It was that. So went to Buff State just to drop out. And now we here.
Hell yeah. I remember when I dropped out, I was like, I never saw myself going back. For real. I was like, fuck all that shit. And
So then what made you go back?
People wanted to give me a job, and when it was just like, well, we'll pay for you to go to school. But that was a finesse. They ain't pay for shit. They finessed. I got finessed.
Damn.
I got
They
finessed.
played the hell out of you.
So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm here. I might as well just, thug it out. But
Yeah, nah, I guess I thought I was gonna go back. Like I think I dropped out with the intention of going back. Like, I was taking a break, and then I realized like I don't want to do this shit at all. Like I realized I really want to be a barber. What am I going to college for? To be a barber. I'm not even going to barber school, to be honest with you. I did the apprenticeship. Like I'm not doing any of that shit. School was just not my thing.
Like
So,
that style of learning just didn't fit you. Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm a hands-on type of person. So I'm not about to sit here. I don't like sitting still for real. So sitting down reading chapters on top of chapters on top of chapters to write paper on top of paper on top of paper was some shit I was not about to sit here and do. So and then barber school is the exact same shit. Why am I writing a paper on how to cut hair? Not just cut hair.
That makes sense.
Geometry.
I don't care about
angles.
none of that shit. I said no, I'm not doing that. Like I am very good. I'm very good. So that's when I found out that New York State you got two options: school, apprenticeship. Fuck that. I'll go make my own money. I don't have to pay no money.
Facts.
You gotta pay. That shit is at least like 6 racks just to go to school for a couple months. That shit is stupid. So I said, fuck that.
Nah, she said something about the just school not being a learning style. That shit made me laugh so hard because it made me think our 8th period class, it would be me, her, and Shots. Those who don't know, Shots, part of Drum Work Conway, brother. We would be in there chopping, bullshitting. Shots would be in the back of the class, bagging up weed, rolling up.
I was sitting here thinking like, should I tell that story? I don't even know, but we were supposed to be doing some shit.
How did the teacher spell it?
You don't give a fuck.
Yo,
Did
it
you have
was the
Mr. Pitts?
Who?
Mr. Pitts? Was he
Nah.
still there?
I didn't have
Yeah,
Mr.
nah,
Pitts.
he dipped right after that.
That's funny.
He was high himself. Like, he was literally fresh out of college. Like, he was probably like 26,
He was
27.
about 27. Yeah.
Like, he didn't give
was
a damn.
wild.
He high-key cared, but he was low-key scared to say something.
I wouldn't be surprised as well.
No,
He
I-
was-
no,
Scared to
honestly,
say something, Luke shots.
That nigga used to come to school in RIP sweatsuits. Dead ass. So I would be scared too, honestly. But like, we were supposed to be doing work. It was dead silent. All I hear is a bag crumple. And I look,
Shots was
and
getting
this
it.
nigga looked back at me and just started laughing. I look at Nelson. Nelson look at me. He just started laughing. I said, all right. Don't nobody care. I don't give a fuck. This
That
not my
shit is
business.
hilarious.
And this became a regular thing. Hey, period. Bagging weed. And I would just be sitting there like, so nobody give a fuck. This is nobody else's problem. Like, okay.
We was in there cooling.
Chilling. Just chilling.
Man, that shit was funny.
Good old times. It's good to see him. Like, you know.
Yeah, we
doing-
was at hip hop karaoke last
Good
night
shit.
when we ran into him. It was chopping it up and
Every
shit.
time I see him doing some big shit, I be like, this nigga was really sitting to my left, 2 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at him doing ignorant shit.
So with Jug Talk, did you start that right when you left Buff State, or was that during the same time?
I was still a student at Buff State.
Mm-hmm.
We were all in college. I was the only one that went to Buff State. Everybody was in UB or whatever the hell. And except for Tyrell. Tyrell was a graduate of Canisius already. He old as shit. He graduated from Tech in like 09 or some shit like that. I don't know, a long time ago. But yeah, we were all actually in school at the time. That's why we always recorded on UB's campus, because they had the access. They were students.
And who was all a part of Jug Talk?
So in the beginning, it was a fucking million of us, for real, and it was a disaster. But it was Prince. He was the one that came with the idea. Then he brought me on, and then it was Antonio, M.A., Tyrell, and Brandon. Brandon Watson, the photographer.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That was who it was in the beginning for a good minute, for about a year or so. And then schedules changing, so we weren't able to do everybody all the time. So then like MA started to get bigger with the producing and shit like that. So of course, you know, working with Westside and working with everybody like that. So he wasn't able to be there as often. So he kind of just fell out, but he always was supporting us.
That's dope.
And then then we kind of just dwindled down to just me, Prince, and Tyrell. But right now, that's who it is, me, Prince, and Tyrell. If we do things, it's still us three.
Is tacos like tacos and tequila? Is that just like one of the party events that y'all put under Jug Talk, or is it kind of separate thing?
Yes, it's a collaboration with Dirty Logan. So Dirty Logan is like our big brothers and sisters, basically. Like they took us under their wing in the very beginning. They already were collective as far as making music, and they already had merchandise and shit like that. They were throwing like performances or like parties, but performances called Fun with Friends. And that was crazy. The shit was in the garage. It was fucking wild. And then they brought us on, and we started doing tacos with friends, and then just kept going. Then tacos and tequila and blah blah blah, and then renting out shit, and you know.
Yeah, I remember that summer being just being crazy when y'all was throwing event like
What
this,
summer?
The summer
2016.
2016 was the crazy
Bruh,
summer.
that was
Craziest year
that
of my
was when
life.
like right when Birds
Birds in
Birds
the
sing
Trap.
Birds in the Trap sing McKnight.
Travis' best album.
Yo, that I remember.
That whole summer
That whole
was
summer
fucking
was
wild.
crazy.
Like we was throwing parties for no goddamn reason. Like we threw a party just because it was gonna be hot in the end of September. Like it was thrown in 2 days straight, and that shit was it was 200, 300 people in the backyard.
Crazy. Just crazy shit.
Free as fuck. It was just all bad.
Good.
Good
Yeah.
ass
Somebody
time.
stole our keg. I'll never forget that. Cause how did somebody steal a keg and we didn't see it? I don't know. It was like the next day, like y'all seen the keg, and nobody could find the keg, and I just don't. I
They
still
probably
can't
walked
figure out-
right by you.
Walked right by, and we probably waved and everything. Like have a good night, all that shit.
Word.
But yeah, it was a good time. We had s'mores parties. We had, that's what we. Do you like tacos? I think. Do you like s'mores? All that other bullshit. I think the hot one was like, do you like global warming or some bullshit like that? Just because it was like, I remember it was September 23rd, and it was like 90 degrees, and we found out that Wednesday that was gonna be hot as shit. So from Wednesday to Saturday, we had to prepare, promote, do all this other shit, and that shit was probably the biggest party I ever seen in my entire life.
Word.
just because it was hot.
The Project X shit.
Basically, that's
they
exactly
used
what
to
it
have
was.
them type.
Because we used to basically like sell wristbands because you couldn't sell liquor, and you could get a wristband for $10 and get whatever the fuck else you wanted all night. So we would make like firecrackers and shit with Everclear in it, all types of bullshit. I'm be honest with you, we was not buying Henny, so I hope y'all don't think y'all was drinking any Henny. If it was anything that was being advertised as cognac in it, it was not Hennessy. No, that not. So you're drinking bottom of the barrel cognac because hell nah.
That yak.
Yeah, I ain't spending all that money. You're gonna get that Salinak and call it a day. Just a whole bunch of bullshit mixed together, and people was like, we had to like check everybody the next day, make sure everybody was still alive, type shit. Like it was that bad. Every single party.
That's wild.
Every single party. We only had one fight though.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's great.
That's great in terms of
Only
like
one
Buffalo
fight?
shit. Yeah.
It would have been great if she said only one fight, like per event.
Oh, yeah, right. No, one fight, and that was on some college nigga shit. That nigga was a Q picking up women, like
Put him on his face.
yeah, and shit like that. And we don't like that too much. So
Understood.
told him no, he ain't like that. He just got bad.
Yeah.
I hope that young man is successful, but it went bad for him. I will say that.
So it's just even in terms of like you talking about barber and podcasting and party promotions, from what you was like telling me, you was like were you like the only woman there for
Absolutely.
the most part?
All the time.
Can you describe that? Like, what's that like being in those spaces, having to navigate and shit?
It's not as bad as you would think, but it's still annoying to the point where like people think that they gotta tiptoe around me for certain shit. Like in the barber world, people think that they can't talk how they talk in a barbershop just because I'm there. I don't really give a damn. Nothing bothers me. Nothing is personal. I don't take shit personally like that. Like I don't care. I talk shit about women all the time. No offense to any women out there. And the LGBTQ plus community is probably gonna come and kill me after this, but we here now. But like I don't take anything personal, and people don't know that about me, or won't understand me, or don't believe that about me, because all women got to be emotional in some sense, which I am, but I'm not. I don't express it like that. So that's the biggest thing, is to get people to understand that you do not have to walk on eggshells around me. Because if I feel like it's something that's like, I'm very good at telling if you're just stupid, like, so it's not gonna really bother me anyway. If I feel like you're just stupid, I'm just gonna ignore you. Like I don't feel the need to challenge you. I don't feel the need to go back and forth. But that's people, period. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But when it came to Jug Talk, it was just like I had a hard time trying not to be the diva. Because being the only woman in the group, sometimes I would have to like bring everybody down a little bit and have to be the party pooper. But then I would also have to remind people like, this ain't y'all world, it's mine. Like whenever, like it's always gonna be a pussy rules the world, period. Whether you want mine or not, it don't matter. I win. Like I'm always gonna have the final say. So people need to understand that. So it would be times where I'll have to be mean and say that this is a stupid idea in a nice way, so to speak. But I wouldn't want to be the diva in that way too. So that would be the only problem. But other than that, I've always been like a tomboy. All my friends have always been men, so it hasn't really been anything I had to adjust to.
No, and that's
You used to hoop in high school too, right?
Absolutely. So that's how we started being.
yeah.
cool.
That's how we started got cool. Just hooping, chopping it up.
Yep. Being lazy in gym class together, that kind of thing.
Same shit.
Yeah, you had the long hair too.
Absolutely. There was a time when Dante was like my height.
Shorter.
Yeah. Crazy. Like, that's the craziest shit in the world to me. This nigga is now twice my size, but that's very fine.
Yeah.
Somebody grew, I didn't.
Man, I was the same height the whole time. I ain't gonna worry about it.
Yeah, well,
Y'all want to eat y'all vegetables. I be trying to tell people.
Listen,
it worked.
Yeah.
I tried everything, man. Everything. My mom used to tell me that hiccups mean you were growing. So I would damn near try to force hiccups and shit. Like, it was all bad. I tried to grow. I even went to GNC and asked them if they had, like, growth pills. Like, if I could get tall.
Yeah, I used to
I was
stretch from the
obsessed.
pull-up bar.
Yeah, like, I
Hanging
was like,
from the
this
pull-up
can't be it for me. Like, 5'1" can't be it for me.
Man,
But here we are.
we all had them hoop dreams. All had them. You mentioned like how society is so like sensitive these days when it come to a lot of certain shit. So it's like, do you think that's something like what you said a lot of like dope shit in there. I didn't want to cut you, but it's just like, do you think is that where some of the like the younger generation is missing, or like the social media era is missing? Is it's like being like almost like paying attention too much, or like being too sensitive? I don't like.
Absolutely. I feel like with the social media area, it's good and bad, of course. Like you could see more, you are exposed to so much more in every sense. But I also feel like the negative part of it is that over wokeness of everything.
That's a fact.
Like I laugh and joke about like "Give Me That" is one of my favorite songs by Webby. Like I love that fucking song. And every time I listen to it, I think about like these kids today would fucking cancel, like they would
Cancel
go
them.
crazy
Girl,
over
give me
this
that.
shit. And like in the explicit version, especially man, like they would die over this shit.
That's a fact.
So like stuff like that, I don't take it personally. I grew up in a different time, like kinda. Like I'm the youngest. My parents are very old, basically. Like my dad's 75, my mom's 67. So and all my friends have always been so much older than me. So the same toxic shit that they talk about, like Gen Z or whatever the hell, talk about is so bad is the same shit that I grew up in as just normal. So I'm still trying to like break certain, generational curses and shit like that. But I do really feel like a lot of this shit is over talked about, over thought about. Like it's not that deep.
Yeah.
That song ain't that deep. Most of the shit just ain't that
It
deep. Of
ain't.
course, you can make it that deep, but
That's a
it
fact.
just ain't
Dang.
half the time. Like 90% of the shit that's all here on social media, that getting viral and shit like that, ain't worth the shit. Like it's not worth the argument. It's not worth getting it that deep.
They ain't put that much energy into them saying that. Why even give 10 times as much energy as to?
I think it really just be people reaching and like trying to find ways as to why they aren't where they want to be.
Right.
And they just like try and grasp that and find it from anything.
Right. Like for example, with the Boosie and Lil Nas X shit, like I never felt like Boosie was. Of course, a lot of the shit Boosie was saying was fucking wrong and just unnecessary, just stupid. Like it was pointless. Why are we even here? If you don't care, why are you talking about it? But at the same time, I understand that Boosie is a hood nigga from Louisiana. Like, what
the
do
Bible
you
Belt.
really fucking expect from this nigga? The same nigga that's wearing Greek paraphernalia all the time and don't know what the fuck it means at all and just enjoys
don't
getting
care.
Kappas and all these niggas upset and shit. Like, what do you expect? Do you expect Boosie to really say something that like means something that makes a lot of sense? No. Is it Boosie saying anything that really is worth discussing deeply? No. So no, why would I get offended at anything he's saying about any kind of homosexual? It's fucking Boosie, nigga. Like go play Zoom and be happy about it. Go play the Wipe Me Down verse and be good, right? Okay. That's the best thing Boosie is gonna say to you. Know that. Understand that. When you understand that, life is gonna be easy.
So you're
Right,
saying
that's a
it,
fact.
it depends on who's delivering the message.
Yeah, like
based
why?
on-
If Obama's saying some shit like that, this is a very educated person. If you want to get deep into it, okay, cool. Boosie, nigga, the nigga that spent forever. Do we remember when Boosie got out in jail and discovered FaceTime and shit? Like the nigga was floored. Like what are we talking about here? Like this nigga.
Welcome to society.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like what are we talking about here? And I love Boosie. I really, really do love
fuck with
Boosie. I listen to all his music. I love that kind of ghetto shit. But why would I be upset about?
No, that's facts.
So it's like it's that kind of thing. Like we are gonna go into deep conversation and get so offended and try to cancel every damn body over somebody that you know. Like you gotta leave people where they are a lot of times. Some people you can try to help, some people you can try to save, but a lot of times you gotta leave people where the fuck they stand and go on about your life.
That's a fact.
That's how you find your peace. That's how you save yourself.
That's a super fact.
That's it.
And it's like I noticed like a lot of my because when I went back to college like for third, like I feel like I seen different like generations of shit. Like my brother graduated high school in the 90s. Sister graduated like maybe 4 or 5 years like before me, and like moving from college to college, different shit. I seen like the shift. And when I was in Fred, I noticed a lot of people would take social media posts like motherfuckers who randomly just saying shit, trolling and shit like that, and it would ruin their fucking week. Whether it's about some LGBTQ shit, some random shit, like a random opinion, and it's just like, yo, the fact that you let somebody else like who doesn't put any thought into what the fuck they're doing, like to fuck up your month is just wild.
Wild as fuck. And like I used to be, really into social media where shit would bother me and shit would affect me. But then I started to learn to actually take like breaks. Social media breaks are very fucking important, especially when all this shit is going on. Like when George Floyd was first killed, that shit, like that was a lot for me to see. I didn't watch the video at all until his trial because I watched the entire trial. But times like that, I had to take a step back. Just times period. Sometimes you gotta like listen to yourself and realize I'm being overexposed to shit. I need to take a step back and focus on my own damn life, get my house in order, that kind of shit. So once I learned how to do that, I stopped being so involved in social media and so offended by certain shit. Now I really can't give a fuck less about.
No, that's valid.
I feel like now I'm turning into an old person. That's like that mean. Why y'all that damn social media? I always on y'all phones and shit.
Y'all phones.
Y'all don't know how to do nothing without y'all phones.
For real.
But that's how I feel now because I learned how to disconnect from all that shit.
That's one thing. Like, I think for me it was like around Trayvon, when Trayvon Martin died, and I was just like, I was in Ohio like by myself, like, and I'm like, yo, and this is the swing state, this election year, all this type of shit, and I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking crazy. I'm like, I can't keep looking at videos of people like that look like me dying. Right. And it, like, just to even protect my mental health, like it got to a point where it did cause me mental health issues. So it's like, okay, I'm like, I'm never going to allow something outside of myself to influence me to feel a way about me like that again, like, period. And that shit, that's when I started like taking like the mental health stuff serious and understanding like just what it was and shit like that.
And even on the opposite side of that, because when you're on social media, you're constantly like comparing yourself to other stuff that's going on to other people. Yeah. Maybe whatever profession you're in, you might constantly be comparing your work to theirs, and that like weighs on you too, to where you're not really appreciating the shit that you actually have going on or the goals and shit that you are hitting.
Super facts.
Absolutely.
Comparison is the thief of all joy.
Boy, oh boy. And it's tough to not even do it. Like, it doesn't even matter what kind of person you are. If you're on social media too much, it's very hard to not be like, damn, like, why don't I have that? Or I could have did this, or I could do that. Or like, it's always going to be that comparison as long as you can see so much of other people's lives.
Yeah. And it's very simple. Like, because me and Dakari be talking about it because we have like siblings in the same age group, and he's able to see certain stuff and I'm able to see certain shit. And like, I feel like the year like me and you graduated, it was like we almost like given a choice. Like, I got friends who still don't like some best friends who don't have social media, who don't fuck with it. And I know some people that we graduated with that fully engulfed in it. And like we were in that middle, to able to see like, okay, we can make a choice. Like,
and I think that's why it's so easy for me to go back and forth, is because I had so much of that time where social media was a thing where you really had to go your whole day, come home, and then get on MySpace. Because your cell phone could barely fucking text, for real.
You had a long time where you didn't have a phone or computer or anything.
For real. And then let's be honest, like, I personally got my first cell phone when I was like 10 or 11, but that was because my dad was just extra. I don't know. He just gave me whatever the hell I asked for. But I didn't even use the shit. It stayed in my house forever. It was useless as hell. Nobody had a cell phone.
None of your friends have a cell phone.
Who the fuck am I talking to? My mother? No. Like, no thank you. That was the only number that was saved in my damn phone was my mom, the house phone. Like, that was it. But now it's different. Like, my goddaughter is 4, and she can teach me how to use my phone today. I still don't even know how to use this shit for real. But before she knew how to talk, she knew how to use the iPad.
That's wild.
But that's regular shit. And she's like damn near smarter than fucking me right now. Like, this shit is crazy all around. She go to school. She's amazing and all that other great shit. But, like, all these kids, they're just different from what we went through. So, like, it's so much harder for them to differentiate between reality and social media because they don't have that time to be outside. You drive down the street after school is out and you don't see kids outside. I don't give a fuck what neighborhood you live in.
No bikes on the lawn.
And none of that shit. Whose bikes is getting stolen no more? These kids don't know shit. They don't have no character for shit. Like, they ain't had to go through nothing. They ain't fighting.
Let's get into it.
They ain't doing nothing. Yeah. They ain't doing shit. Like,
that's a fact.
Granted, we did some terrible things. And looking back, I would be really, really mad if I was my mom.
It built character.
Okay. It built character. It made me who I am today. I think I turned out pretty okay. But, like, that's all they have from basically the time they have their own motor skills. They're on social media. They are on YouTube. They're doing some shit with technology in some way, shape, or form, which is a blessing and a curse as always. But like, it's easy for us to be like, oh, fuck this shit, I don't want to get on it, or just delete everything. Like, we've all had a Facebook or a something, but we all can get the difference between wanting to keep it or get rid of it because of what we've been through. We grew up in a different time.
That's how I always feel. Like, I never want to be that guy where it's like, I'm buying a house on a mountain and grow my own food and just be a fucking recluse. Like, nah, but like,
It's tempting.
I definitely draw the line like at like when the new social media platform gets made and shit like that. Like, I'm not on TikTok. Like, I'm not really on Snapchat. Like,
I just deleted my Snapchat like a month ago because I already wasn't using it, so I'm like, I'm gonna just delete it.
I just found out that our age group is like using Snapchat again, like it's the shit, because you know you can't like do anything secretive for real. Like, you can't screenshot without being caught. You can't like, everything is just what
you
it
just getting
always
tracked
was.
with your shit.
So I was like, let me find out. So now I'm back active a little bit, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how it works.
That's how I've been moving. I just be like,
I be forgetting I have it,
assume
though.
everybody can see everything. I don't give a fuck. Like,
I be
even like-
screenshotting Instagram DMs. Like, I know you're gonna see it. I don't care.
I don't even know how any of this shit works for real. And I don't care also. Let me make it very clear. I just don't. Like, I'm well past it, the age of like giving a fuck about all that other shit anyway. So I'll damn near tell you I'm about to screenshot this. And screenshot it, and that's it. So we gonna go from there. But yeah, I can't. I tried Clubhouse, and then I realized it was just niggas like talking to each other all goddamn day, and I got rid of that shit so fucking fast.
I still use Clubhouse every now and
Yeah,
then.
he like Clubhouse.
Only for certain people though. Like certain people where it's like they don't, because with so much censorship and all that other shit. So like I like to hear what another view is.
Okay.
Who you be listening to? You listen to the King of Clubhouse?
Who your boy Wack?
Wack 100.
Oh,
King of
hell
Clubhouse.
no. Wack 100 is exactly what the hell his name is. Wack.
I never.
Shit. I don't know why people listen to, well, half the people they listen
Nah, I've been listening to this dude, Sabir Bey. He got a dope joint. Like, they talk about health, like government stuff, spirituality. They cover a little bit of everything. I listen to him. He has like the main room I listen to. I've listened to the homies in Detroit. I told you from the psychedelic conference. They whole family got like a chat on there. They talk about different stuff every week.
Part of the fam.
I mean, I'm a distant relative. Distant relative. Man.
I can't just, I don't know. I said, hell no. When I realized how many people was just on there to like be fake popular for a couple seconds a little bit, I said, nah. I don't like fake popularity shit. Yeah, I can't stand it. And I think that's why I started hating social media, because I hate fake shit.
Would you consider yourself popular in the town?
I guess so. I don't necessarily like it, I guess. I like to be over there somewhere. I think 5 years ago, I would tell you that it's the shit. I want to know more people. I want more people to know who the fuck I am. But now, I want less people. I want people to kind of forget who I am. I hate going places and having so many people to speak to. That's why I don't go to as many places as I used to. I like to be by my damn self.
This is so funny.
So why is that now though? When did that shift, the transition happen?
That's what I wanted to tell you. Like, cause when we used to go out, we was out everywhere. Like, when you be like, yo, this nigga know everybody.
What did I say to you last night?
We was out.
What did I say to you last night? We was sober as shit, ready to go at hip hop karaoke, and I said, damn, if this was 10 years ago, we'd be fucked up all over the place, damn near half naked everywhere,
good ass time
on the stage performing every other song, like, and now we was just in the back, just like,
oh we did this. Like,
right.
We were in this place now.
This is cool. But now, damn, I don't even fucking know. I think that we kind of, I think, talked about it before, but I was diagnosed bipolar 2 years ago now. Almost 3 years ago now. And with that, I had to learn how to, like, now I had to give a fuck about mental health, because I did not give a fuck about mental health. I was just like every other black person who thinks you need to just go your ass to church and call it a day. I didn't pay enough tithes. That's why I'm going through those shit. Like, that's what's But I had to find out what bipolar disorder actually was, and then I had to figure out how I was going to treat myself. Because I figured I did the medication, I hated it because I don't like being in the middle. That's not me. Mm-hmm. I'm not a boring person. I'm not just like numb to everything, and that's what it does to you. It's a mood stabilizer, so it doesn't make you high, doesn't make you low. It makes you literally in the middle for everything. The shit that you enjoy the most is just kind of like cool to you. The shit that you hate is just cool to you. So I guess that's cool too, but it sucks, and I didn't like that for me. So I gave up on that shit. Cold turkey. I'm never doing it again.
How long did it take you to make that choice?
I did meds for a year, but I also have Crohn's disease, which affects my digestive system. So the meds were kind of fighting the Crohn's, and it was just making. I had to pick one over the other, basically. And I felt I can do something with my mind. I can't do shit with my body, for real.
Facts.
Not with Crohn's. I could get my colon removed, but who's doing that? Not I. So I made the choice to deal with what I can change, basically. And with that, I had to figure out myself. Like, you think you know yourself, but you don't. It takes time for you to really sit by yourself and really go through shit by yourself to figure out who the fuck you are. But a lot of times, like, when you're sad, you don't even really know why you're sad. Or, like, you know something affected you. You don't even know how much it affects you. You just go on about your fucking day. But what I decided to do was really sit with myself. So, like the Calm app. This is why endorsements and shit matter. They had LeBron. I love LeBron. Like, that's my idol damn near. If I could pick anybody to be reincarnated as, it would be LeBron. Simple. But now I'm like, okay, you got my attention. I'll give it a whirl. I learned how to meditate through the Calm app. Now I do it every single day. It's just 10 minutes out of my day, and it changes my entire day. Simple. So with that, I learned how to listen to myself, how to quiet my mind and listen to my body. And do body scans, literally start from the top of my head, go down to the soles of my feet, and figure out what makes me feel a certain way. So say somebody hurts my feelings. I know my feelings are hurt, but I don't really know how deep it gets. So sometimes I would sit and I would meditate. I started to do that when I felt some type of way, overwhelmed, upset, any of that. And now I could feel what part of my body is actually suffering. Like, you feel the tension in parts of your body, like you're holding tension in places when you're angry, sad, whatever the fuck. So I started to do those things and learn my body in that way. Then I started to actually pay attention to the things that were making me upset. So if this one thing kept happening and it kept making me feel this certain way, that's a pattern, obviously. So I had to pay attention to that. So now I see this thing about to happen. I know how this affects me. I'm going to get my ass over here.
Being proactive instead of reactive.
Exactly. And then, so back when I was on, like, doing Jug Talk heavily, we was dropping every week, all that other kind of stuff, doing events, doing live podcasts, shit like that. I had so many obligations, so I had to be everywhere. And I felt like because people knew who the fuck I was, I had to make sure that I was everywhere. I had to go to everybody's shows. I had to go to everybody's parties. I had to do all of this shit. Go to everybody's pop-up shop, all this other shit. I was overextended. And I didn't understand that I do kind of sort of have mild social anxiety. So it's only so much I can do around people. It's only so many people I can be around. I don't really like being talked to by everybody. I don't like being touched. I don't like people being in my face. I don't like that. That's why I say I don't like, if I could not be popular, I wouldn't. But when I started to understand those things, that's when I started to stay more in the house. So if I know today is one of them days I don't feel like being bothered, I don't feel obligated to go to these things no more. I will ghost anybody quick. I will tell you real quick, I'm not coming. I don't feel like it. I'm staying my ass in the bed. Like, it's no problem for me now. So that's the real big thing. I learned who I was. I was not being who I am. I was being who I thought I was, or who I thought everybody else thought I was or wanted me to be.
Facts.
So when I realized who I was, I realized, like, you know, what was going on within myself. I created my own peace. And now it's like, I'm not letting anybody else change that.
Rightfully
I'm
so.
controlling myself. So if I don't feel like it, I'm not going around you niggas. And even, like, I felt like it last night to hip-hop karaoke, and then I was just like, ugh, damn, this is why I stay my ass in the house. So now I think I'm really just getting old on top of that. So that might be the biggest thing.
Yeah, that was my first time going there. So
Bro,
yeah,
I've been, like, before they really blew up with it, like when it was just Gabby for real, or the Golden Girls. I don't even know if the kids know who the Golden Girls are, but back back when it was at the waiting room that hasn't been open in God knows how long. Like I've been going to it when it was like that. When it was really nobody in there for real. It was packed, but waiting room was a lot smaller than venue.
Facts.
So there was only so many people that could be in there. But
Yeah, it's been dope just to even watch the growth of just everything,
definitely,
and even with your story, just to have the self-awareness to understand that progression. Like you had to create your own space, and you created your own ecosystem where you decide how you feel, not allowing others to impose on it. And that's one thing I knew that us being able to sit down, we would be able to like show other people. Because I remember I wanted you to come on here a while ago because I wanted to do it right before holiday season. And because holiday season, a lot of people going through depression, just family, all that, holidays, all that shit. And that's super key. And in one thing that I want to make sure we continue to talk about mental health. We haven't really talked about it in the past couple episodes, but that's definitely something that's always prevalent. And with the state of the world right now, Ukraine, all that extra shit, conversations like these are the ones that need to be had. And
right.
there are people that look like us that can help you and steer you in the right direction. Like, you know what
I'm glad you brought up the holidays though, because this is my first holiday season since I've learned these things about myself and my body, and this was the most peaceful. But normally holiday seasons are fucking terrible. To be honest with you, it's stressful because of the gifts and shit like that. I'm probably gonna give up on that. Tell these niggas that my presence is a present. But yeah, like that piece is like daily for real. Like once you do the work, once you take care of yourself in that way, like it doesn't matter what the fuck is happening. You have your days, you have your moments, but nothing is as bad as it used to seem once you find that peace within yourself.
Hell yeah.
I'll be damned, I'm not going back. Basically.
Exactly. And it takes, we're not saying it's going to be easy. You
Hell
know what
no.
I'm saying?
Hell
Like,
nah, it's
That was
not.
the hardest part of my life, and people don't talk about the fact that you got to kill your old self. Like people don't get that. People don't talk about that. It sounds morbid. It sounds crazy. It sounds terrible.
No, it's like
but you have to kill your old self. You have to mourn your old self on top of that, and then you can go and be whoever the fuck you feel like you got to be. But you have to let that person go. You cannot, like, you don't really just change in that way.
Yeah.
You really shed a person. You shed a skin. And when you're comfortable with that, then that's when you're comfortable with really changing who you are. Like you really growing, I should say. Not changing, growing. You're comfortable with that growth. It's literally like butterflies. Like you're that weird ass caterpillar and shit. And then you're in that weird ass cocoon and shit. And then you blossom to this beautiful butterfly that's just floating. That's why I feel like I do be high, so 9 times out of 10 I am floating. But I do feel like I'm floating since I'm so like at peace within myself. I literally feel like I'm gliding every damn way, like this little butterfly. It all makes sense.
that's fire.
Why these celebrities love these fucking butterflies? Is it the drugs? Or is it the peace?
Did you have to go through a sober process while you were going through that too?
No, not at all. I actually found solace in weed. What the fuck? No, hell no. So this, for me, I was actually like coping with weed for sure. I coped with alcohol first, but because of my Crohn's, it was beating my ass. So I quit, and I used to be against weed. And then I was basically like, I'll give it a whirl because I found out the side effects, like the effects it could have on my Crohn's. So I started smoking weed like 4 years ago, and I did not stop. And then, like, yes, I definitely used it as a coping mechanism, and it was like bad. Like it was damn near a really bad addiction. But I probably did like little days or two where I didn't, or whatever the hell, like tolerance break type shit. But I learned to use it as a good thing and not a bad thing. I stopped using it as a crutch and started using it as a friend. So I had to like get rid of that need for it. And I think that just kind of came with the mental thing too. Like that just became a thing. Like I can literally just stop right now, but before I felt like I could not. That was because it was the only thing that stopped everything else. But that was before I even knew I was bipolar. So I was going through shit that I didn't know what I was going through. And weed was the only thing that was stopping all of that.
Gotcha.
And I'm damn sure not doing nothing harder than that. So,
Yeah, you got, especially if you got that balance, you got that equilibrium.
right,
Rock with that shit. Definitely rock with that shit,
absolutely.
man.
But I just had to figure that I came out about being bipolar a year and a half ago, because I felt like I don't look like that. I don't look like bipolar disorder. And I needed people to understand that because I've thought the same shit when they told me that I had bipolar depression, to be specific. How the fuck, what about me looks like that? Like, what about, I'm not out here, like, no offense to anybody that's going through shit, but I'm not out here, like, on the street begging for coins, all this other shit, talking to myself, like, what the fuck are we even talking about here? That, like, I'm perfectly fine. I got drip, duh. Like, I'm the swaggiest bitch you know. How the fuck do you mean I'm bipolar? That didn't make any sense to me. That's why I felt the need to tell people that and stop being shy about it and hiding it, because you can be like this. You can be a regular ass fucking person. You can be cool, popular, all that other good shit, and be struggling and go through shit and have a actual mental health disorder, not just be sad.
Did people start to like treat you differently when you like actually came out and announced it?
Kinda. Sometimes people do the walking on eggshell shit. They don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't want to tell you the truth because they don't want you to go overboard or flip a table, because people don't understand what it even means. On top of that, so they think that they're gonna say something you don't like, and you're really gonna start like ripping shit off the walls and like losing your fucking mind. Like, that's just not what it is at all.
Yeah, because I'm thinking back. I'm trying to like replay just as long as we've known each other, and it's like I never would have like suspected that. I'd just been like, oh, she just don't fuck with y'all. I mean, and I'm trying to think, like, I've seen just like I think of Nina Simone. Like when Nina Simone was diagnosed with being bipolar, I never felt like she was bipolar. Like, she was a black woman who was like working for white people in the time of segregation. Like, her people being super oppressed, but all these white people are coming up to her, clapping in her face, praising her, and like that can create an internal struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting in, like, I'm sitting here singing like about how I can't stand white people and da 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 da, and they're sitting there just smiling and clapping, like, that pissed me off even more. Like, and it's like I don't even necessarily know the question I'm even trying to phrase, but it's just like being a woman and experiencing the world that you see it as a black woman. Do you think that attributed to somewhat of an internal conflict of shit you see, how people react to you, or just how the world works type shit?
Absolutely. Like, I still sometimes have a hard time even dealing within myself. Is this like a angry black woman moment, or is this like a bipolar moment? What's the difference? Who the fuck knows? Because society gonna tell you it's the same fucking shit, right? So I had to figure that shit out too for myself. Like, fuck the general thing, like myself. What is the difference between me being just angry and me, like, this is just something I can't control. So that was a conflict for myself. But other than that, like, I had the problem of being like raised in a super, super religious black Southern family. So like, that's just a certain viewpoint that you're always seeing just by the way you're raised, like the things you're taught, shit like that. So it's like an internal conflict as well as external of that, still that pray away thing. Like, cause I still am religious. So I had to like put the two together, spirituality and religion together. So that was a big thing. But other than that, I don't think it was too hard for me to, like, I don't know. I don't even know if I answered the question right.
Nah, you gave me insight on what I was looking for.
It's just, I don't know. It was like, I think I compartmentalized it. Like, I made it two separate things in my mind. That one doesn't affect me in another way than the other, I guess. I don't know. It's
just kind of like categories. You just calling the same thing, different names.
Like, sometimes I had to sit back and tell myself, like, this is one big thing. Like, this is, like, I'm a triple minority, a black gay woman. Like, that's the thing. That's three different things that I had fighting against me all the time. And then you want to throw in a mental health disorder, so technically that's 4. So, like, sometimes I have to sit back and tell myself, like, you have a lot of shit fighting against you, but I don't like to give into that kind of shit anyway. So it's just kind of like, so I kind of just separated basically all 4 of those things for real.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I think all 4 of them are all the same struggle to me. Like, they're all 4 very, very, very fucking hard things to deal with if you let them get to you. But I decided not to let them get to me. Fuck the niggas. Basically.
Nah.
Fuck them niggas, bro.
And that's one reason why like I always got so much respect for you and like respect for like your opinion on shit, because it's just like I remember when I wasn't necessarily like, we weren't necessarily in the same places. I was either in Fredonia, Cleveland, wherever the fuck, and I knew you was going through shit, and I just like, I'm like, damn, my dog, like, I know she good, but I was like, damn, I want to just go give my dog a hug,
Right.
like just kick it and shit. But none but the utmost respect for you. I love you. Glad
nigga.
you pulled up to the podcast and all that good shit.
Of course, nigga, I've been waiting. But I'm not like the rest of them niggas that be when you gonna get me in, nigga. Like I'd already been on the other side. I hated that shit, and I am not about to be that person. Like, why would I? And what would I ask you about, sir? What the fuck do you do?
What are you doing right now?
Niggas just want to get on your podcast to give bad opinions, and no fucking thank you. Let me tell y'all. What camera can I look into? Any of them?
That one right there.
Don't nobody want to hear your fucking opinion. Like, nobody, this ain't social media. Like, people want their podcast to be a certain thing. If they wanted your opinion, they'd ask for it, nigga. Stop asking niggas. Can I get on your show? Nobody gives a fuck about the lies you about to spew any fucking way. But you can bring that shit to the barbershop, because I'll listen to your lies all damn day for $35 a haircut. Come see me 3122 Main Street, 14224. Thank you very much, Sharp and Barbershop. Thank you.
Come on.
That was smooth.
Come on. Yeah.
Nah, we needed that clip. Yeah. I'm gonna post that once a week. Fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah.
God damn, I did that shit for 5 years, and I just be entertaining it. Like, hey, I call you. My people will call your people.
Yeah, bro, we just gotta get the schedule. Yo, we always blame it on the team. You know, we gotta get the team together, see where everybody's schedules is.
I'm gonna holler at you, just like Smoke. I'm gonna call you. Just don't ever come by here again.
Don't call me. I'll
You're
call
right,
you.
I will call you. Like, no, nigga, no.
Yeah.
No.
You got anything else you want to tap on, Dante?
Nah, man, I'm good. This is a good episode. I like this one.
Thank
for
you.
sure.
This was a joy, I must say.
Word.
I've never been on this side before. This is very, very fun. I must say.
I'm glad you in. No labels. We're here to serve.
Where can people find you? Social medias.
Oh, damn. I am at boomshaka_taka on everything, I believe. That's boom, of course. You know how to spell that. I don't know what to tell you. Shaka, SHAKA_TAKA. My barber page, niggas, because you need a haircut and y'all dusty, is too busy cutting up. The number 2, busy cutting. No G in that shit, because that's weird. Up, all one word, no underscores and shit. But, yeah. Don't look for me on Facebook, because that's weird. But, yeah, that's it.
Let's go.
All right, we appreciate you pulling up, man. No Label the Pod, we out.
Thank you
Peace.
for having me.
She watching me like a cable. I'll be on no label, but my clothes be all